All right, Smell, you are up.
Oh, I guess I should pull up book stuff. There it is.
Maybe say words.
Literally sounds like you're peeing into that cup right now. All right. Let me do the intro, you disgusting human. Welcome, Smutters, to the Sibsreadsmut podcast. I'm Ned.
I'm Helen.
I'm just reading it as it is written.
Weeks of this.
Do you think they know yet?
Not without watching, apparently.
Mentally pack your trauma bags because now it's smut time. For those just tuning in, this is a podcast where we read, rate, review, and tell jokes while discussing our favorite dirty romance books.
Smut.
Smut, smut, smut. Reminder, we're siblings. Isn't that cute? If you like our stuff, go on and smash that like, rate, or subscribe. Every little bit helps. If you have book suggestions and or questions, reach out to us on the socials at Sibsreadsmut on Instagram and TikTok, or email us at sibsreadsmut@gmail.com. On today's podcast, we will be discussing insert title here. Just kidding. I can't help it. I'm hilarious. On today's podcast, we are discussing Twisted Love by Anna Huang. And spoiler alert, we will be discussing this book start to finish. Beginnings, endings, twists. Twisted Love are all fair game.
Twisted.
So if you want to stop here and go read the book, you can. No need, though, honestly. Just let us spoil it for you and then decide if you want to read it after that. Because, honestly, this book is so confusing that I just might need Ned to explain it to me again. I've now read it twice, and I still don't understand the menace part of it and the murders, and there's a lot of twisted plot in this. So Ned's going to give us a brief summary of the book. I don't know if this will help me understand it anymore than the other two times that I've read this book. But Ned, go ahead and fill us in.
All right, Twisted Love by Anna Huang. Ava is a college photography student with a great brother and a crap dad, who, as it turns out, likes to be debased with that big old D.
Not from her brother or her dad.
Not from her brother or her dad. That's the one thing this book doesn't have is incest. Alex is an emotionless automaton, an emerging tycoon who's intent on two things, revenge and boning. Hard.
Both of those. Hard revenge and hard boning.
Alex also just happens to be Ava's brother's best friend. Yep, Sparks. A lot of revenge, a little kidnapping, a smidge of betrayal, a dash of light choking make this story a heady brew. Oh yeah, they live happily ever after and bang into the sunset.
Do they? I mean, I know they're together, but Jesus Christ.
They went to Vermont together.
All kinds of fucked up.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, and they made their host so uncomfortable that they had to leave the room.
I think the hosts at the end were making them a little uncomfortable.
Well, maybe.
The wife was, for sure.
Well,
but go ahead.
So now I've now read this book twice. This was your second reading too, right? You've read this one before?
Yes, I've read this one before. I've read this one and the second book in this series.
Oh, what's this? So this is part of a series. How many are there? 3 at least?
There are 4. There are 4
4
books. It's the 4 girls in the friend group.
Oh, okay. And so what's the second one? Is that the girl and
the princess
and
the bodyguard?
Ooh,
yeah.
That one. I'm actually really interested about that. Maybe I'll have to read that one. But this one is Ava, and she falls in love with her brother's best friend.
Yes.
Which I feel like is the primary trope of this, like brother's best friend. Somewhere I read that it was like sunshine, grumpy. I was like more like idiot, narcissist. I don't know. Like these two are real characters.
Well, there's a lot of trauma in this, and I was trying to think of like, is this trauma porn? And I'm like, well, yeah, with everything that happens in there, there's so much story. Unlike the surfing one from last season, it's like that was all just like emotional kind of crap where all the action stuff happened in the past. This one, there's actual stuff going on in real time. Like there's a lot of meat on the bone here of story and betrayal and everything else. It is, you know, there's a lot of confusing back and forth in story and everything else, but it's all pretty traumatic. You know, there's dark past, there's bad stuff that happens. Like his whole family,
his backstory.
His backstory.
Alex.
What's his name? Alex. Alex's backstory is and I mean, just kick it off. Lots of parent death in this. Ava's mom is dead. Alex's mom, dad, and little sister are all dead.
Murdered.
You know, they're
just
murdered. Yeah,
for the record, you know,
not just dead. You know, just murdered.
And he witnessed
viciously. It. Yeah, and
and he watched it. You know,
so there's a lot, but you know, starting from the beginning, dual perspective. Which is nice, and you know, even with the dual perspectiveness of it, there is a pretty big twist in here, which you know, it comes about 75% in, which I thought was a pretty early low point, you know, all things considered. But you know, it was nice having his perspective and her perspective, you know, going back and forth in this, because I think unlike Flock, it was although there is a big secret that that Alex is keeping from Ava, it was done in a way where he keeps his secret the whole time, and he doesn't spoil his own reveal in, you know, like in Flock, where they any of them talking behind her back would have revealed the whole plot line of the story. And Cover Watch, you know, because I know the fans crave it. You know,
what's your take on this? Because it's just words. It's not even cartoons. There's no people. It's just a plain cover with words.
Light blue floaty cover, and you know, it was. It was confusing to me because it looks like one of the happy go lucky kind of, you know, books where it you know, it's a nice rom-com, and it is not. You know, it absolutely wasn't.
I would like to say, on Goodreads, there is one cover, an alternative cover, that is a dude. It is a real human male with his shirt open, but the words are over his chest, so you can't. Ned will put it on. I'll make Ned put it on the screen. But that is
no nipples blasting.
No nipples. I mean, it's like hinting at nipples. So like, there's a mystery of nip, but it's just the words are over that, and it's like a dark and broody guy with dark hair and piercing eyes. So there is another cover, but I feel like most of the covers are just the plain, and I assume all of the books in this series.
All the books have they're all different colors, but yeah, they all have that kind of simple just text over pastel, which, you know, is whatever. You know, it's simple with no hint at the undercurrent of menace that lies within.
It kind of keeps the secret of what's inside. Doesn't give anything away.
Well, and I thought the narrators did a good job in this one too.
Oh, amazing!
I'm now been writing them down after one of the guys I work with. His wife does voice acting for reading books, and she's like always he's like always tag them in the videos that you post, because they have their own channels that they want to promote too. So like they'll repost your stuff, you know. So
I don't know if they'll repost our stuff.
maybe not. But Cindy Kay and Aiden Snow, great job. I thought you guys did a good job reading the book.
The male's voice was hypnotic. I did love it. That was I could listen to this book for 25 more hours. He was great.
Yeah, they I think they both did a good job. And so to kick it off, Ava is stuck in the middle of nowhere and calls her brother Josh to pick her up, and there's some kind of party going on. I think it's Josh's birthday, and Josh sends Alex out, and his best friend, and it's like they right off the bat have a pretty good banter back and forth, which I kind of like. And she always kind of thought he was a dick, but she's super
He
like
is.
just wet for him anyway, and
Yeah.
and she's literally in the rain too, so she's actually wet in this scene too, and. We find out pretty quick too that she's got some huge phobias. She's afraid of the water and it's raining, but she's okay with the rain. It's big, large bodies of water that she's really afraid of, and she's like trying to convince him to go pick up a cake for Josh, and he's like, "You can't go in there how you're dressed," because she's wearing a white shirt and you can see her nipples blasting through her red bra and whatever, and she's yelling at him, "You have stick up the ass itis," and all this other kind of stuff, and they're going back and forth at each other pretty good.
Yeah.
But I liked that kind of like right off the bat.
Here
Good banter back and forth.
is my first issue with the story. I don't understand. So Ava is a college student, and apparently Josh is also a college student. Her brother is also a college student, and they have houses right next to each other. I'm envisioning
He's in med school.
At the same college where she goes?
In the same town. She does not live on campus. She is renting a house next to Josh. Josh is in med school. I don't know whether he's at a med school program at her same college, or if he is just in the DC area. But they live next door to each other, and I want to say he is 25 or 26, and she is like
21 or 22.
21, yeah.
And so Alex is 27, and so she's 21. I think she's a junior, I think, or maybe a senior in college. So she's young. I was 21 when I graduated because I am a baby and extremely smart. But like, he's 27. In your 20s, that's like kind of a big age difference, in my opinion. Like and so it was confusing to me, the age things. And then Ned's yelling at me to stop clicking my pen. Joke's on you, Ned. This is a highlighter.
Well, stop fingering it.
I am trying to not click it. So that confused me. And then they like live in their own houses. They don't share homes. They have like actual houses, but they're next to each other. And then so then Josh, who's in med school, as you said, he takes a job or some kind of internship abroad for a year, basically. And he is all protective over Ava and says to his friend Alex, who's like a tycoon billionaire type person. I don't know if he's an actual billionaire. He's very well to do. Hey, can you move into my house and keep watch over my sister while I'm gone for a year? That's like kind of crazy. Like I feel
reasonable older brother,
You would not give a shit. You'd be like, Helen, I'm going out of town. Call me if you need me. Like you would not install your best friend. Could you imagine sending like drunk Dave over to like live next to me here and being like, drunk Dave, make sure nothing happens to Helen. So,
maybe not drunk Dave.
Honestly, that would be really fun. Drunk Dave, come move here. We'd have so much fun.
Yeah.
And so then Alex is like this uptight butthole of a guy, and he's 27 again, moving in next to a college girl to like take care of her. He installs all of these cameras and installs like all of these surveillance things.
A security system. Yeah, I mean, he's not surveilling the house. He puts a security system in.
He paints a picture, and the eyeballs, the picture follow her. I'm kidding. That part didn't happen. But that's what it felt like, was that he was just so invested and involved in like watching her every move. Felt a little creepy at some points. If she wasn't so hot for his dick, then I don't know. Like, what if she didn't like him? Again, if she didn't like him, there wouldn't be a book. But
I didn't read it as that aggressive at all in those actions. He was aggressive in almost everything else. But installing a new security system over there, to me, was not overbearing. I think you read into that a lot.
She didn't ask for it.
But they needed it because you're also forgetting that she has an ex who's stalking her. Like, she legitimately has a dude that is following her around and trying to, get back with her, and is yelling at her and confronting her.
On her?
he cheated on her, and she found him like balls deep in some other girl, and then broke up with him, and he's not taking it well, and he confronts her like 2 or 3 times throughout this book, high and drunk, and he gets his ass kicked multiple times, but it's there are not no reason for him to put in a new security system and everything else like that. And also, we're 17 minutes into this podcast already, and we're 1% into the book. There's so much more story that happens here, Helen. I think we need to move on.
Yada. They start to fall in love. She tries to break his shell, and he's like all uptight and doesn't want to be friends with her. And then she's like, I'm going to come over and bring a movie, and we're going to lay on the couch. And then she falls asleep at his place. He moves her into his bed, of course. And then she has a night terror, and all of her trauma is revealed because of that, right? I mean, that's how like he starts to
what
happened in her history.
He learns a little bit more about her history than she doesn't know a whole lot about her history because she lost her memory prior to age 9. She has no memory of her early childhood.
Yeah.
So she has this fear of water. She has this trauma. She has this history, this past that she does not and cannot remember. She's gone to therapy. She's tried to remember. It's some deep, dark thing where her mom potentially tried to kill her in the past, and then subsequently killed herself right after that. So but she can't remember any of this. This is all her brother and her dad explained to this after the fact. One other point to make too is that Ava is a member of the itty bitty titty committee. She
is. What are you talking about?
Self-appointed. That is literally a note that she made in there, and I was like, oh, okay. Usually they don't just announce that they have small boobs, but in this case, I was like, okay, cool. And then Josh and Jules are the brother and one of her best friends and her roommate. They're book 3 in the series.
Josh and Jules. Which one is Jules?
Jules is her roommate.
Oh, the sassy one who answers the door?
Yeah, the sassy one who's all like, hey, did you fuck him yet? Did you screw him? She's all the hyper-sexualized one. I don't know which Sex and the City woman that one would be, but it's that one.
Oh.
Not
Miranda. It's Samantha. Nope. Miranda, Samantha, Carrie, and the one that I haven't named is the one that is the sex one. Why can't I remember their names? Oh, I'm a bad millennial.
Yeah. So so she has this suppressed trauma, and he has this hypothanos Anastasia. Hyperthanos Anastasia. That is not
what
it.
Is that?
That's his memory thing where he can remember everything from his life, like every memory and everything else. It's like it's a little different than a photographic memory, but he can remember everything. So like he relives the murder of his parents and sister every day. Like he can remember it in vivid detail and everything else. Yeah. So it's it's and that comes up a lot because his trauma is fresh, like every day, which is why he's so intent this whole time on revenge. Him getting his revenge has been like 17 years in the making, and
longer than that.
Well, I mean, he was 9 when the murders
happened.
Now
he's 27, so it's 18 years. Thank you.
Okay, Helen. Yeah, but
do the math.
Stab me in the back over 1 year. You butthole. So there's a lot of self-defense stuff going on. He wants to get her into the Krav Maga studio, but she knees Alex. No, Sean. What's the fuckhead's ex's name?
Oh, I thought his name. No, he's not Josh. That one was.
Josh is the brother.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it. It'll come up.
Yeah, I can't. I think let's just
Chad.
Yeah.
Just call him Chad.
Chad. When he confronts her outside of the bar, she knees him in the balls and runs away. when he confronts her at the alumni mixer, she headbutts him in the face. I'm like, she's doing a pretty good job without taking Krav Maga lessons. I think every woman should take a self-defense class. Everybody should take a self-defense class at some point. But I'm like, she's doing a pretty A-okay job without having any training. But he is a huge Krav Krav Maga enthusiast and trains a lot. And, you know, he is they haven't even started sleeping together yet, and he's already protective over her. He busts in on a photo shoot that they were doing where she's like wearing lingerie and like takes the camera and deletes all the photos and threatens the kid who is taking the pictures. And like he is a guy powerful enough to actually destroy people's careers. So, you know, like he destroys
And
Sean's
he does.
career. Yeah, and he fucks them over and really like ruins their lives and has no compunction about doing so. But so they're going, you know, through a lot of her, you know, present, which is the Sean stuff, the overprotectiveness of Alex, and she's trying to get him out of his shell by doing these tests, you know, like let's test his anger, let's test his happiness, let's test his sadness. Like she takes over, you know, like A Walk to Remember and a bunch of Mandy Moore movies and was like, let's watch these. And he does, like, just sits on the couch and goes, okay, what am I supposed to feel about this? And it was, and as a game, which I thought was a little mean-spirited, but most of this book is mean-spirited in some form or another. So it's like, you know, okay. But Jules I feel like Jules is a terrible influence. I do like the four girls together. I think that their relationship is fun, and they each have unique voices and personalities, which make them fun together. But you know, the 21% in is where they watch, you know, the movies together, and they're kind of like getting the rumblies, and she at some point like jumps on his lap
Alex
for some
and Ava
reason. Yeah, Alex
together,
and Ava,
not the roommates.
And Alex and Ava, I call this one "Find the Wet Spot." She's leg humping him and getting, you know, the downtown rumblies, and he makes a joke about her dripping. And she thinks he's talking about her vagine when he's actually talking about her bleeding heart. And she's just like mortified and like jumps up and like runs away. And that's when she falls asleep on the couch, and he puts her in bed with him. And he's like, I'm not a good guy. He gets changed and gets in bed with her. And she has a nightmare, and Alex jumps up grabs his gun, and he's pointing it around the room like looking for the bad guys. And they're obviously not there. And then 24% accidental morning OPHJ. Ava just wakes up with Alex's sweat-panted dick in her hand. Like, oopsie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And he calls her Sunshine, and there's not...
Sunshine!
Yeah, there's not too much... He doesn't use it too much, which I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay.
Uses it enough. And when you say it in the way my head says it from, what's the football movie? Where
Remember
Ryan
the Titans.
Remember the Titans? Sunshine!
Yeah.
It was enough. It was enough.
But you're saying it that way every time. They didn't say it that way every time about him. And there are literal voice actors doing this. So you're saying it in your head, but they're not saying it that way.
They don't say it that way, but I said it in my head that way. Sunshine.
So every time they said it, you repeated it in your own head in a different manner.
The male reader had such a sexy deep voice, and he kept saying, "Come on, sunshine," and in my head I'd be like, "Sunshine."
I'm gonna get him to do one of those voice notes for you for your birthday.
Ooh, a cameo.
Yeah, cameo video or whatever.
Just have him say "sunshine" 45 times in a row.
And
the ex-boyfriend's name is Liam.
Oh, is it Liam? Swimmy, swammy, swami. We were
Swimmy,
way
swimmy,
off.
Swammy. Pam, Pan, Pam,
Samsonite. Oh man, and then she cooks him the terrible Operation Emotion Disgust. She cooks him like asparagus, garlic brittle, peanut butter brittle, something, and he just eats it without it showing any emotion. And then Operation Happiness. She takes him on a picnic to the park, and his attitude about the urine-soaked grass and flies in the pasta salad I thought was hysterical. And then complete fail when a dog runs over and pees on his like $1,000 shoes. I thought that was a pretty funny scene.
Yeah.
And then no one can try to think of how to scare him, and nor do they really want to, considering she's seen him pull a gun out after a nightmare. Mm-hmm. Josh is in South America doing his posting, and things aren't, like he's getting beat down there. So like he's not really paying attention yet. He's not really paying attention to what Ava has going on up here as they're hanging out more and more and more, and they're almost dating. Neither one of them will call it dating, but they're hanging out a lot. They're going and doing stuff together, picnics and what have you.
And the whole time Alex is like, I shouldn't be doing this. You're my best friend's little sister. And then she's like, I don't know. I like him. He's so mysterious. Yeah, and then one of Alex's acquaintances hits on her at this alumni event, and he walks in and goes, "Get away from her!" And I'm cutting in, and then he has a great line in there where he's like, "I know you want me," and he's cocky, but right, she does, and the photos of him that she took eventually shows him wanting that beeve too. So it's like it's not just one-sided, but there's a line where he says something like, what you're looking for is deep abiding love, and she goes, are you talking about me or are you talking about yourself? And it kind of shuts him down. And I liked her ability, even though she's younger and kind of naive in some ways, she can throw that right back in his face, which I like that dynamic a lot. And there's this Madeline woman in here too, who is Alex's fuck buddy, who before Ava. Well, yeah, I mean they haven't even slept together. They literally slept together, but they haven't boned yet. And she is, I think I wrote it down. Madeline pulls Ava aside at this party and goes, you can't handle a guy like him. He'll call you filthy names, fuck you from behind, and not kiss you. And Ava's like, I'm pretty turned on by that. I think I can get into those things. Yeah. And then Madeline pushes her in a pool, which of course causes Ava to have a panic attack because bodies of water make her go insane. And Alex shows up after Ava had already left and threatened to just ruin Madeline and her entire family's business. I have shit on you. Leave me alone. Never call me again. And if you attempt to do anything to her, I will ruin you. And he does, but she also fucks him over later in the book with his uncle, who we haven't even talked about yet. I need explanation on. Yeah. So then on her birthday, their first kiss, 42% in. So I mean, we're a healthy dose into here, and we still have not gotten to. We know that he's seeking revenge. We know that she has this past trauma. We do not have specifics yet on either of those things, and we're almost halfway through the book. 42% birthday kisseroo. It's Alex's birthday. Their first kiss, pretty steamy. Mouth plundering, erection pressing. It's pretty steamy, and the friends are in the next room too. So it's like there's that little danger of getting caught, which she likes a lot. So she could drown a toddler in her panties at that point. And Alex shuts it down immediately afterwards. He's like, "We can't do this." He's more pissed at himself than at her, but he's having a lot of thoughts about this, which almost immediately go out the window. And he's just baiting to the kiss for days, and then he comes to the gallery because she's kind of avoiding him after this too, and he shows up at her art gallery where she works, and the manager's coming to yell at her or whatever else. He just flops his dong right on the table and goes, "Give me the most expensive thing in here." And she's like, "Oh my God, it's $40,000." I go, "I thought you said it was expensive." And I'm like, "That's it." Yeah, that's it. Wrap it up, Jeeves. Whatever. And he's been this whole time teaching her to swim, getting her used to the water and doing a lot of stuff. So he, at some point after this, after dong dropping $40K on the table, goes, "We're gonna go to the best hotel in DC because it has a really nice pool." Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. And 46% in post pool fondling. She has a panic attack in the water, and she just grabs his wang afterwards and tells him she likes most of the things that Madeline talked about. Mm-hmm. And he just caveman drags her up to the room. And quote, they didn't say wang, but his wang almost punching a hole through the front of his pants.
And then
It's a wang
this is
chop.
Yeah, wang chop, literally. The only documented time of sniffing in this book too happened right here, where he can smell the tang of her arousal.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Ugh.
I knew
I have
you were
film
gonna
on my
like that
tongue
one.
right now.
I knew you were gonna like that one. That leads us to the 47% hotel hoedown. This is lots of dirty talk, very, very spicy. I mean, this is one of the spicier scenes I think we've read a little bit. Some light choking. She's super wet. Lots of possession talk. This is my pussy. This is my. Whatever.
I own it forever.
Yeah, and he just jams his dong in her mouth, like she's a contestant on a hot dog eating competition. Which, remember when you were in a hot dog eating competition in college, Helen?
Thank you for being reminded of my hot dog eating contest by this scene in the book. I also can see very clearly how you went from one to the other. And shout out
A to B.
shout out to University of Dayton, Kyo, X and a horseshoe, Kyo. And but I did. I won. We ate 12 hot dogs and buns. And why did I do it? Oh, I was dared to do it well, I don't want to say why I did it because it's really nerdy. But if we got if our sorority got a good GPA, then I would do this in front of everybody, and they did. And so then I had to do it. And do you remember Katie? She probably doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, she's married now. She probably has a different name. Sorry, Katie.
I'll bleep it. I'll bleep it out.
I don't know. Anyway, Katie and I had a hot dog eating contest in front of the house right on Brown Street, and I won. I called you for advice ahead of time, knowing just based on your BMI that you would know how to take down a hot dog.
You literally told me I was calling you fat before the podcast started. You just called out my BMI on the fucking podcast. You goddamn hippopotamus.
Hip hop anonymous.
Hip hop anonymous.
Anyway, you gave me the great tip to wet the bun. It sounds so gross in context. Out of context, whatever. And I won. Regardless, I won the hot dog eating contest. I tried my darndest. I ate 2 dogs. For future people who want to hot dog eat, you have to eat 2 dogs at once. I should write my own romance novel, and then this is going to be the first sex scene.
Eat 2 dogs, two dogs at once.
2 dogs at once, and then wet the buns, squish them up into little bread balls, and then dine on the bread balls. And it goes down really fast. So you just need a cup of water and 12 hot dogs, and you also can be a champion.
Champion. Play like a champion today.
Play like a champion.
So then he face paints her, and
or with ketchup. See?
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said for the scene that I'm writing in my head.
Yeah.
Ketchup or mustard.
No condo talk. He just wraps it up like a good boy. Good boy.
A little good boy.
Good boy. And he broke all his rules when he was banging her. He kissed her on the mouth. He fucked her from the front. He did call her a bunch of dirty names. Lots of slut talk and everything else, which, I mean, she was into. So, good for you. But, Alex banged the nightmares right out of her. So on this podcast, we have learned, and as a social worker, maybe you can back this up scientifically. Yeah. We've learned throughout our reading that boning can cure fear of storms, grief, bum tum, horsing injuries, and divorce, and a couple other maladies too. Yeah, and childhood
trauma. Now it fixes it.
I mean,
fuck therapy.
Scientifically, it seems to work.
In a lot of scientific journals. It's hard to turn the pages because they're kind of crusted together, but you can. A lot of scientific journals include
really
this.
Hard to peel apart.
You can crack the magazine.
Just Spider-Man the pages apart. So they bone all weekend, and he's just making her dark. The sex with Alex is making her dark and depraved, and unlike Flock, where in the first book there was nothing too dark or depraved about what they were doing, this was pretty dirty, pretty dark and dirty. 50% in, you're exclusive with this dick. And my boardroom. he bones her. He takes a phone call mid-coitus.
I loved that. You texted me about that.
Yeah, we were chatting about that, via text before a couple days ago.
Yeah, I can talk.
Yeah, he's just a post-room service pussy blast, and he just answers a call while he's inside of her, and she's going, he's inside me and answering a phone call, and he doesn't even sound any different. No. And he just bends her over the couch and keeps banging her, and she's into it. She is enjoying herself, and he'll just unmute himself and be like, those quarterly statements need to be better, whatever, and then mute, and then and he's like, keep your mouth shut, whatever. And it was
they did that in Heated Rivalry too. He took a phone call while he was being
I was sucking him off. Yeah, that was that was not as hot as this one.
Noted.
And after their weekend of blasting, the friends have mixed reviews about their relationship. Jules is horny, one's wary, and one is just kind of indifferent about the whole thing. And it's we meet the dad for the first time after that, which is Michael, which is weird because she has a very kind of odd relationship with him where they're like not super close, and she doesn't know why, and it's a little odd, and they have a very awkward kind of eating cake scene, and she gets like a little creepy crawly feeling from him like towards the end of their meeting. Like she says, like every once in a while he'll just look at me or or catch him staring at me, and it's she's like, it fills her with trepidation and fear, which I thought was a cool, like, kind of foreshadowing moment where you're like, something's amiss here, and we don't really know what it is, but it's a nice kind of creepy setup for the
reveal,
the menace that's coming out.
And we do know, the reader knows that her nightmares, Ava's nightmares throughout, have to do. She starts to have flashbacks of her memories from before from 9 and before, and she remembers going underwater, and her mom, she remembers like smelling her mom's
perfume,
and then thinking that she was gonna like turn around and her mom was there to play with her, and then she gets pushed into the water. So she's starting to remember these things, and then like in her memory, her mom pushed her into the water and tried to kill her, and then killed herself. I think that was the story that was told to her. The mom felt bad about it. Yeah, the mom felt bad about it, and then killed herself. And then Michael, her dad, apparently, or whatever, took care of her after that. But they've always had this weird relationship.
The parents were in the middle of a contentious divorce, and Michael was already staying with. Josh was already staying with the dad, Michael, and Ava was still with the mom. And this was a day where there was just the mom and Ava at home, and suddenly she was in the water waiting for the mom to come back, and drowning, and almost did drown. Oh, that was the cap, not a pen. Okay, I was gonna yell at you again. But the friends are having their own issues going on right now, so they all have their own little lives, which we check in with throughout here. So the princess has got a new bodyguard, and they're clashing, and that's kind of in the background of this, and they're book 2, Twisted Games, and then they're arguing about going to this college fall fest thing, which it's packed, and it's there's tons of people, and it's the fall fest. And it's, Alex wasn't supposed to come, and then he does show up. And then I don't know how he did it, but he cut his hand at some point. So 54% health center cum collage. Alex cuts his hand, and they bone in the bathroom in the student health center. She's super juicy at this point. And he also like rips her panties off and shoves them in her mouth, which is pretty bold move. And then he just blasts all over her thighs and makes her walk around with his baby batter all over her legs.
Oh my God. Gross.
I knew you were gonna like that one.
Baby batter.
And then Ava invites Alex to Thanksgiving with her dad, and this is where like all the shit starts. So she has Alex come up. The dad notices like right away that Ava and Alex are pretty much together. And at some point, she's outside and she's on the dock because now she's gotten used to being around water again, so she can actually go near the lake behind the house. And the dad surprises her out back, and she has this like revelation moment that, oh my God, it was the dad that actually pushed me in. Mm-hmm. And it was like everything just like went immediate fast forward right there. So she figured that out, told Alex about it. Alex immediately started investigating. They confront Michael in his offices and they, like, have the FBI there, get him arrested. He admits the whole thing, and it was like, Josh will never believe you. And then Josh walks in and punches him in the face. And I was like, oh shit! In my notes, I go, I have oh shit.
And I think this is where I started to get confused because I was listening to it and maybe I was distracted. Who knows? And so Michael admits in this room to killing the mom, right?
No. He admits to attempting to kill her. He had poisoned the police and everybody against the mom so much that she actually did overdose.
Oh, okay. I thought
so
she was killed.
No, so she did OD, but he admitted to pushing her in the lake and attempted murder there.
Why?
And then
what was his point in killing Ava? Like, why did he want to kill Ava?
He didn't want to kill her. He wanted to make sure that the mom lost custody of at least Josh, if not Josh and Ava, just to hurt her, just to spite her. And on top of that, he found out that Ava was not his biological child. The mom had cheated on him at some point. So he's always hated Ava because she wasn't his kid. But it was a way, taking custody of her was a way to hurt the mom. So that's what he was trying to do. And then when Ava wrote the like why I love my dad so much thing in like 6th grade or whatever, he tried to smother her with a pillow. And Josh came home from school and interrupted that whole process. And so he, in this meeting where he's getting called out, was like, yeah, it would have been so much easier for my life if I just killed you with the pillow and Josh never came home. And like it just completely admits to attempted murder on 2 separate occasions. And then what we don't know at this point, but happens, even more, and why Alex was able to get him arrested so fast, was that Michael was the bad guy and the source of Alex's revenge plot this whole time. And so he had a whole file on Michael from the last 17 years of gathering information to ruin his life. So he had gotten, and we come to find this out relatively quickly here too, that he had gotten close to Josh because Josh was Michael's kid, and he believed that Michael had his parents killed. That Josh, Ava and Josh's dad had Alex's parents and sister
family,
killed. Family, and that turns out not to be true. But he was under that impression for the last 20 years. So he befriended Alex. He technically didn't start sleeping with Ava because of that, but it was he was good using it to his advantage in some way. Yeah. But easier to get closer to Michael and find out all this stuff. So he has everything he needs to completely ruin Michael's life, and it goes down.
Number 3.
Yeah, number 3, and then we come to find out that the uncle, Alex's uncle, has been. There's a whole Mean Girl scene in here too, which I think we just need to skip because we are 46 minutes in
for time. So this is the first time technically though that we're even talking about Alex's uncle or at length. So when Alex's family is just unalived in front of him, he then goes to live with the uncle, and the uncle raises him, and he's like Alex has a super high IQ, and they were having him in special classes, but he was too smart for the special classes. And so when the uncle took him in, he was like trying to like at 14 he became the CEO or something. I mean,
he wrote an algorithm that helped their company invest. So he was too young to actually do anything. So he gave his uncle the CEO title of this Archer Group company and let them use and rented them his algorithms to make them all this money with the knowledge that at some point Alex would step in and become CEO.
Yeah.
Well, he starts finding out that his uncle was actually the guy that perpetrated this crime.
What?
And ousts his uncle as CEO and hostile takeovers his own company, and there's a very tense meeting between Alex and Ava and the uncle where Uncle Ivan, where Alex is trying to get Ava away because he doesn't want the uncle to have anything to do with her, and she doesn't leave, and they have a very weird kind of tea, drink, and we find out later that Alex poisoned his uncle with like plutonium or something.
I didn't. Okay.
And then they have a behind closed door. They have a behind a closed door boneyard. You're a CEO. Here's my badge, kind of thing. And then Ivan has Ava and Princess Bridget kidnapped. It's like bing bang boom. Like Michael gets arrested. Ivan finds out and gets ousted, and then the girls get kidnapped, and Alex admits to all the shit that he did, over the years. Gain the trust of Josh, gain the trust of Michael, and, lays it all out in an effort to save Ava and Bridget from the kidnappers. And it's absolutely brutal. I mean, probably worse than Butcher and Blackbird, at the end of Butcher and Blackbird. Like, he lays it all out and just absolutely eviscerates her. And it was like, you didn't mean anything. You were a means to an end. That was a pretty brutal scene.
Yeah. He had to get her to like not love him anymore, and his trauma then comes out of like, I've never been lovable. And so I think he's telling her all this shit not just to have her run away like in that moment, but like to genuinely
drive her away
with her. Yeah, like, and make sure that she never comes back to him. So
this is like 80%, which is a pretty early low point, which I actually enjoyed because so the whole kidnap thing happens where he ruins her. He then tells the uncle, well, I can save your life, but you got to let the girls go because I poisoned you 2 weeks ago. And then he shoots his uncle like 7 times and then tortures the kidnapper after Reese, the bodyguard, breaks in and like solves everything. And then we find out that the whole thing, like the police were called, but they're actually his guys that he paid to show up and act like police and paramedics. And so it's just like a lying.
What?
Oh yeah, it's a professional lying course. Like none of them were actual cops. So he is ruse. It's a whole ruse the whole time.
How do you know that?
Because he says it. These were my guys. He burns the house down afterwards. He sends all the guys that he hired away and then burns the house down. Yeah.
I remember the house burning, but I thought he just did that like after the cops left.
No, that they were his guys that he hired and rented to come in and act like cops, and they were off-duty cops or whatever else, but they were bought and paid for by him. That's why there were no charges and nothing ever came out in the press and nothing ever happened, was because they were all his guys that he put on a whole play for Reese, Bridget, and Ava, pretty much.
Jesus.
And then they sent them away, and they were like, oh, I guess it was self-defense. But Ava's ruined, and she comes up to him afterwards. It's like, was it all true, or were you lying? And he's like, I lied. The whole thing was a lie, and whatever. And the police were a cleanup team. He burns the house down, blah blah. But this is where we start like going super fast forward. And I actually like this part because it takes him almost a year to get her back. And it's like 2 months later, she's broken, and now she's mad. No, it was about a year because it was two months after the breakup.
3 months.
Whatever. You're not going to nickel and dime me on this shit anymore, Helen.
I think it was like 2 weeks and 3 days.
Well, and then you fast forward like another 2 months, and Bridget shows up at Alex's office, and yells at him like, "Hey, asshole!" Like really reads him the riot act, and it's like, "Hey, we know you love her. Like we know you stopped. You're an idiot." So grand gesture 1, he runs to the airport to try and stop her from getting on a plane to go into London, and we haven't even talked about the whole fact that she couldn't travel because of her fear of water. But we'll save that for another time. But he misses the plane. Fail. So Ava's loving London. Alex shows up, and Ava tells him to pound sand. So grand gesture 2, he starts love bombing her with presents and sends her presents for weeks. Yeah, I didn't love that either. Then we find out that he resigns as CEO so that he can follow Ava to London and just pretty much follow her around forever.
Yes, he just stalks her. And
it's been a year, and they're friendly now. And Alex buys all of her photos at her graduation ceremony from this London program.
Hate that. So annoying. She does not need to be saved by a man. Apparently she has no talent. Otherwise somebody else would have bought the paintings. How is she going to know how talented she is if her butt nut is just over here like buying everything for her?
She's already getting the job. She's also getting a job with like the National Geographic, like naked people hunter, thing in France. And then he sings karaoke for her, which I I was like, okay. And it would have been better if he was terrible at it, but he was actually super good.
Suddenly he's like James Dean. That's not.
Yeah, and then Grand.
Who's Dean? Who am I thinking of? Dean Martin. Thank you.
Dean Martin. I was like, where are you going with this? And Grand Gesture 3 was the beautiful singing. And I was just like, I wish he would have been terrible at it. And then Ava gets hit on by this other guy, Jack, and he's possessive again. And then she pretty much forgives him.
Possessive again.
Alex is possessive again, and then she pretty much forgives him, like right there. And 96% makeup wall bang. He just sends everybody home from the art venue because he's got that much money, and just fucks her up against the wall, like banging frames off the wall. He's ramming her so hard. And now he has like full-time protection for her. Like the wrap-up is Ava now has full-time security. He's back as CEO. He ruined Madeline, who in the end was helping the uncle fuck him over. He ruined her father. He also seeded rumors about what happens to people that fucks with his woman. And I'm like, I like his style. Okay.
Oh my God. I hated that part.
And then Bridget is set up to become the Queen of Eldora at the end of the book. We're setting up book 2.
I actually really want to read that because she's a side character, obviously, in this novel, one of the roommates, and then they're just this like, oh my gosh, what's the Anne Hathaway movie where she becomes the princess of whatever?
Princess Diaries.
Princess Diaries. That's like what I'm envisioning the whole time. She's got this like really hot security guard, and then you can tell they just have a fun banter. I want to read the second book. I feel like I'm really gonna like that.
Yeah, I felt like I read the second book too close to this one, where I have to space out my trauma porn a little more. Where I'm like, I can't read them too close together because it's just the kind of like intense, that kind of intense stuff. I think I need a little break in between. Give me a grumpy lumberjack or something in between there.
Give me some horsing.
Yeah, but what we already talked a little bit about it. But any other like tropes stick out to you? I mean, the billionaire stuff for sure. I mean, anti-hero love interest is what the intern came up with. He falls first, falls harder. Possessive hero, interracial romance. I don't even think we brought it up that she's Asian. Ava Chen, and he is. I mean, technically, he's Asian too, because he's from. I thought he was Russian, or from the Czech Republic or something.
I thought he was Polish. I don't know.
But they're, and then the grumpy sunshine kind of stuff. Maybe I mean he was kind of a sociopath too. But brother's best friend is another one. That we talked about a little bit.
Yeah.
But I did like how long it took them for them to sort their shit out. I did like the time frame of that it took over a year because he hurt her a lot. I mean, it was. Yeah. I mean, that's something that normal people would not come back from.
Yeah. And even I liked her honesty of like, I should not. If I'm a self-respecting woman, I should not be coming back from this. Like you severed my trust so hard, and she finally gets to a point where she's like spends the year in London like denying his advances basically, and then finally she gets to a point where she's like, I know that he could break my heart again, but I guess I'm willing to give it a shot and take a shot on love. And so she's like able to risk it, but she knows that like he has this capability.
Yeah. To hurt her again.
To hurt her again, and she's sort of moving forward knowing that that is a possibility. I thought that was really realistic.
Yeah. Where do you put this on the Smutometer?
Smut, what is it? Smut minus? Spicy minus? Not a ton of smut, but...
I mean, there was, but yeah, the kisseroo, I mean, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 6. There were 6 pretty spicy scenes.
I want to rename one of your spicy scenes. I want it to be the badge where they fuck at the office. I want it to be like a vag access or badge access or something where it's like I want to like badge vag access.
they never did fuck at his office.
Tap my badge vag, like tap my vag with your badge.
My vag card. Tap my vag card.
Swipe to enter.
Better. That was a good one. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably put this medium plus or spicy.
Okay, I like medium plus better.
All right, and we have our other special thing this week. We have Mad Lib coming back in for the first time in a couple episodes, written by Nick from work, which is a buddy of mine named Nick from work, and he.
Whoa.
Do you want to read? Do you want to read it, or do you want me to read it?
I can read it.
We have Revenge of the Broody Lover. Is this one? I tried to go dark and mysterious because of these twisted love subject material.
Revenge of the Broody Lover. Filled. That's still my favorite part of these. Filled. Cream filled. Okay. All right. I'm ready. Beginning. The betrayal. The night everything changed smelled like mildew and regret. I should have known something was wrong when Meatball Ron didn't show up at the assassination of Archduke Frank Ferdinand. That's so specific. Instead, they left behind a blessed St. Thomas medal. A blessed St. Thomas medal. And a note with only one word. Hark. That was the moment I vowed revenge. Middle. The return. Am I supposed to say middle?
Yeah.
Oh,
might as well.
Okay. I feel like it should just be like, this is a new part, the return of darkness.
I'll let the intern know.
Thanks. If you could work with them on that a little, it's good for them to learn new skills. Okay. Years later, I've become a warlock of the Scientology celebrity building, and now I'm back. The town hasn't changed. The ornery streets and the whisper of oak bark, the memory of what we once were. Then I see them. Meatball Ron, standing there like they didn't smote my entire existence. Smite? How do I say that?
Smote, probably. Yeah, smote, past tense.
Smote. Like they didn't smote my entire existence. You came back, they say, their voice as squelchy as ever. I came back for comeuppance, I reply.
Actually works. Yeah.
I know. But when we're forced together inside the Chili's bathroom stall... all tension resurfaces, along with the truth about the down low harem. And revenge or ruin. I never stopped punting you, they confess, stepping closer. I tighten my grip on the cheese grater I brought for this exact moment. This was supposed to end in a morgue, so why does it feel like mana instead? The storm crashes overhead as I make my choice. Revenge or something far more dangerous.
Yay!
Mana?
I don't know.
Is that like manna from heaven?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I hope I did it justice, Nick. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, once again, the story makes little to no sense.
Chili's bathroom stall.
Oh yeah, that was great. Warlock of the Scientology Celebrity Building.
I tightened my grip on the cheese grater I brought for this exact moment.
Down low harem. Well, he put DL harem on there. I was like, who's DL harem? And I was like trying to look it up online. Yeah, I was trying to look it up online. I couldn't find it. So I had to ask him. He went, no, like DL, like the down low. I went, oh, that makes way more sense. Do you know what we were reading next week?
I do, you stupid fucker. Because you told me, you idiot. You shouldn't have
right before it started. I know, but I wanted to see if you forgot.
The Deal by L. Kennedy.
One of our favorites, L.
Kennedy.
I actually haven't read this one yet. I thought I had, but I looked it up, and I did. It's not marked on my Goodreads, so maybe I missed it on going through. But I don't think I've read this one before.
Okay, so The Deal. This is part of a series, obviously off campus, is hockey smut, right? College hockey smut, and this is also being made into a TV show. Currently, or it's been made and it's being released soon.
Relatively soon, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when I was watching Heated Rivalry, they were teasing The Deal by L. Kennedy. So
teasing it. Butthole
so
teasing
silly.
it.
So silly.
So silly. The anything to wrap up, Helen? Anything more you want to say?
Wrap it up, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Put those condos on.
Yeah.
If you're liking our bullshit, generally laughing at our own jokes, please hit that like, rate, subscribe button. Generally, golden shower us with praise. Please and thank you. Thanks for listening. Tune in next week, Smutters.
Stay smutty, Smutters.
Stay smutty. Goodbye.
Please leave.